So, dudes, Mr. Few the Aquarium Dude, here with some good news and bad news. So, we'll start with the bad news, and that's my angel Luna, the male Altum, has passed away. And so they are a little harder to keep than normal angelfish. So this is one that you'd buy at like PetSmart. But, you know, I got them about the same time. They're both males. I didn't know at the time until they get older and their face kind of, you see that hump on his nose there. He kind of has a beak. So they both did, and they kind of chased each other around a little bit. And, you know, it's possible for them to exist fine in a Planet 55. It just depends on their temperament. If one of them is willing to not be the dominant one. And Sonny, this one right here, has always been the dominant one. He would always chase him away, and Luna would kind of always be around him though, kind of follow him, almost like he liked it. But you know, he was tired of running away, and they both last weekend just went at it. I mean, they butted heads a couple times and then banged each other's sides, and you know, it was just a bad night. I woke up the next morning to him hiding in this corner over here, and just I moved him down to this tank that I don't have any fish in, and just I've set this up in the last month. I set both these up at the same time. I got this one stocked with some German blue rams. They're doing good, male and female. But so this tank was empty, and so I moved him down here. I gave him some bacterial medicine in case you know, the stress of the fighting and things like that made his immune system weak, and you know, so I gave him a quiet environment. This hang on back filter is off, which makes some current, and it was just this sponge filter, so you know, it oxygenates the water, and you know, it doesn't do as good, I don't think personally, but you know, we'll clean up some fish waste and things like that there, any unfed food. And you know, he was looking better for the first couple days, and then all he could do is swim left, and he was doing corkscrews and would kind of get upside down, and so he passed away, and so it's a real bummer. He was definitely my favorite fish, and you know, I do love Sonny still, and obviously my rainbows and my tetras. I love my corys. The two new ones actually laid some eggs, and I just cleaned them off. They were infertile, so if they're super white, they don't have baby growing in them, and so they'll hatch in like 3 days, but they just stick onto the glass. I'm seeing if there's one I didn't clean up, but I'm not seeing any, so hopefully, oh, here's 3 right there, so you can see those 3 eggs right there on the side of the glass. So but they're infertile, so hopefully she'll try again, and there'll be a male that helps to fertilize them. But so you know, I'm looking down here, you know, I have the other one, come on, zoom in. I have the other one completely aquascaped. Okay, see, now I'm just doing too much. You know, I have the driftwood and everything that I think really gives it a habitat kind of feel to it. And so I'm sitting here trying to think, what do I want to put in here? You know, maybe some light yellow larger rocks, or some white larger rocks, and thinking about some plants. I have Java moss that I took out of this filter, or this kind of little container I have for my snails growing out. I have some of the bigger ones down here, but there's still, you know, hundreds in that other one. So I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I look up, and look what came out of this tank. Let me see if I can zoom in. I'm not sure if it came from the Java moss or if it came from a water change. The way that I changed the water sorry, is I'll take the water down on this one about 50%, and then I'll actually take this tank water over to here. So to keep the tank cycled, or another way to say it is to keep bacteria that eat fish poop in here, I need to have some fish poop. And so I kind of vacuum a little out of the bottom, and just the water itself has some debris and stuff in it. And so I don't know if they came from the water change or the Java moss. You know, if I show you up here, the Java moss was in this container, which is closed, and they're egg scatters, which means like these guys right here, they'll lay eggs into a plant. You know, I showed you those corys, the catfish, and here's one right here, so I can show you. I think that's a male. It's hard to tell, really. You really just got to compare it to others. But you know, they lay eggs on the side of the glass, but tetras, which they're obviously hiding because they don't like me, which whatever, guys. They will scatter them. So along the gravel and things, this usually sits lower. So I don't know if they scattered them on top of it and they got onto the moss, but I'm really super excited about it. So I put some flake foods in there. There's probably about 8 or 9 in here, and so I'm really hoping that I have something here. If I can, if they can always scatter their eggs over this, that would just be awesome. So, like I said, I've counted about 8 of them. I've been feeding them little flake food, just ground up in my finger as small as I can make it. And so this is the first day I noticed them, so who knows, maybe I'll never see them again, but or maybe they'll grow up to be what I think are red-eyed tetras, but maybe you on YouTube can help me out. So just a little update, Mr. Few the Aquarium Dude. I hope you're having a good one. See you later.